Welcome back, fellow milk drinkers, to yet another Monday Milk Review. Today, we're going to be continuing our exploration into the Kikkoman soy milk drinks. As stated in the previous episode where we looked at the peach flavored milk, there's about 23 flavors in this range. Japan is an absolute king of flavor, and they don't know when to stop. It's entirely possible that they've lost control and they just don't even know how to stop anymore, which, you know, is kind of relatable when it comes to reviewing flavored milk. But without further ado, let's start talking about this flavor, the mixed fruit flavor. This one I believe actually came second in the poll. Peach was highly desirable, as it seemingly always is. Even when I did the sodas, peach was really in high demand. Being a mixed fruit, you may be questioning, what fruits is it gonna be? Is it gonna be a typical tropical flavored drink as we know it? Well, I've had a little look on the packaging, and as you may see, we've got depicted a pineapple, an apple, an orange, and something else that looks like an orange, maybe a tangerine or something. But what's really weird about this is that when I looked on the ingredients, we're only seeing apple, pineapple, and orange. So what's that fourth mystery fruit depicted for? I don't know, but for some reason it's there. Very similar to peach, we've got a really nice little carton here. The coloration is brilliant, it's so bright and vibrant. We've of course got that signature logo up on the top here, as well as some really cute little fruits down the bottom. But before we get into it, let's give it a quick shake. Just like the last one, there's absolutely no movement here in the liquids. It's just solid. I don't think we're going to see any benefit from this, but alas, I'll try. Let's open it up. Ooh, got a little bit of a spill. Let's poke a hole in the back like we neglected to do the last time and pour it in now. Not surprisingly, in all honesty, it's just another plain kind of milk-colored liquid. The smell is pretty intense. I've already gotten a small little sniff of it just while I've been handling it. So let's go for a smell from the carton. Wow, it's not ever the smell you expect to see from a flavored milk. You may be familiar with Mildura, it's a juice company, but they actually have a tropical flavor which I really enjoy, and it smells almost exactly like that. It's very reminiscent. Let's give it a sniff from the glass. Okay, so the strongest one that I'm picking up is definitely maybe the apple. I think I can smell the apple with the orange. It's a little bit more subtle. The pineapple I haven't really picked out from flavor. I can smell apple. The orange is only a maybe, and I'm gonna probably say no to pineapple. I don't really smell the pineapple. But with that all aside, let's get into this flavor and see what it's like. It's so fruity. It doesn't make sense to see a flavored milk be so fruity. Honestly, it's not milk. It is a juice. I really don't know where the Kikkoman brand gets off calling this flavored milk. It is a soy milk, but it kind of shares absolutely no qualities with milk other than its appearance. It doesn't really feel like milk in your mouth. It's a little bit just out of the scope of what I feel a milk really is. The flavor is honestly quite nice, and I would say that if this was a juice, I'd be like, yeah, that's good juice. But because it's a flavored milk, it just sort of feels like there's a big massive disconnect between what I'm experiencing and what I expect to experience. The aroma itself is really pleasant. It's quite sweet. It's very fruity. It smells good. It tastes good. It just doesn't have the right texture for me. I do think it's a tiny little bit more acidic than I would like, where it's not unpleasant. You can just sort of tell it's got that little tang or bite to it. But as for the pineapple, I don't really sense it. Perhaps that's just a general sweetener, because it's definitely not just orange and apple alone. Maybe if I wasn't looking at the milk, I think it would be easier to sort of ignore the fact that this is meant to be a milk, in which case perhaps you're actually best to just enjoy it when it's in the carton and you don't see it. It's to the extent where I feel like I would actually even maybe rate this higher if it was a blind test. I think if I really were to be generous, I think I could give this a juice rating of like a 7 out of 10. It's okay, but there's certainly better juices out there. But as a milk, it feels like I can't really give it anything other than a 5. The flavor's good, but the texture is just not correct, and it's not feeling like it's a flavored milk, which I think we're going to see in all of these Kikkoman flavored soy milks, to be honest with you. This one I think is definitely more tolerable than the peach, but I still don't know if it's something that I would drink out of choice. I think if they made this more creamy, I would be more happy and ready to give this a higher rating, but when there's other flavored milks out there which just have that correct creaminess and sweetness, this just isn't really competitive. If you see it, I wouldn't recommend against it, but I don't think I would say that you should go out and look for this. In terms of the flavors that Kikkoman has to offer, this isn't an experienced milk really standing out enough for me to recommend. So when it comes to the Kikkoman mixed flavored milk, I think honestly reach for a juice instead. But that about wraps us up for this week's episode of the Monday Milk Review. Thank you very much for watching. Please drop a like and maybe even consider subscribing, and I'll see you next week in the Monday Milk Review. Bye bye. Bah! Gotcha.